For the last 6 years, we have been working in partnership with the African Caribbean Society and the Ghanaian Society from the Montfort University Students' Union on our flagship event, Gospel Jam. Over the course of the last 2 years, we have been donating profits from the event towards a DMU global volunteering trip to Ghana organised with the two societies. In this short, as I was saying, this short video will give you an overview of what they got up to on the trip last year. Enjoy.
For me, the trip overall was a great experience. We added, I think, 4 more schools this year. Yeah, and being able to go to them and then help them out how we can, I think it was just great.
It's nice to see the improvements from last year that's happened within each individual schools.
So the sentence I heard is, "My name is Smile."
The trip overall for me was really inspiring and emotional actually, just because you see what the kids go through over here and how even when they do have the opportunity to have an education, there's still so much work to be done and things to do. And then there's me, and I've come and I've had my whole education, basically finished it, and it's been so easy and I haven't had to worry about anything.
You have to make the word from the word that has already been.
For me, the best part of the trip was visiting some of the schools that are connected with PCR. So my favourite one was probably the second one that we went to, just because we were more confident in our group activity.
We got a hang of it and it worked out really well. We ended up teaching them how to formulate words out of like random letters. It was really fun to like learn with the kids. They're very energetic, like you want to be around them.
When I was at the PCR school, that is when my teacher in schools came out.
She used punctuation.
PCR schools were really good. That's what shocked me the most, because some of them are so smart, they've got so much potential, and it's just like, imagine if you had the education, they would be doing some big things, like super big things.
There's a lot of kids there that have potential and their circumstances is limiting them, which is kind of upsetting for me.
For me overall, I think being able to make a difference, so by being able to donate, giving our time up to provide services and like teaching sessions with the children and seeing like their smiles, like that's one of the best things. The fact that PCR was also able to open up their new library for the general public and for kids, I think is really fantastic.
The Montfort University in the UK, where are you? I can see lots of you. All right, you're welcome.
Last year, she didn't have a library, now she has a library, a place in the community that anyone can go to, students or adults alike. They can go there, get information, learn new things.
And you can be anything that you want to be. Open up and you can...
For those who don't know, Positive Chain Reactions is an educational NGO that has been established with a vision of being part of the processes that leads to the nurturing of responsible citizens for the sustainable development of Ghana.
I have high hopes that in the future they will get very far.
I can just say that what we are seeing here, everything here is amazing. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
I just realised that maybe we do take things for granted, like books every day. We can go in and literally just read a book or go into a library, but in Ghana there's not many.
This is a special feature I forgot to mention. So we are going to use this board for an exercise we call the PCR word of the day. So every day we open, we write a word and its meaning. If I can find the exact word in tree also, write it down there and place it outside. So anybody passing by that cares to can learn.
So even though the library is kind of small right now, that's not going to stop us from expanding it, or maybe giving different locations around Ghana first and foremost, and then probably branching out internationally, which is something that I want it personally to be.
The vocational school was actually really good. The girls were interested in such a range of ages. I think there was even some 18, 20, 16, 13, there was such a range.
We are from DMU University.
I think this one, in comparison to last year, went to a lot better because it was a smaller group. We had more of us like interacting with the students and everything.
As you can see from developments from last year, that's how low it was. And now, because of our donations and everything that we've done, they're able to put a new roof over. So we're doing something right.
So last year when we came, it didn't look like this. There has been like quite a lot of improvement, and it's good to see that like our money is going. They're using the money for what we anticipated, and yeah, I think we're all happy to see that there are changes that have been made, and yeah, this is really nice.
Happy birthday to you.
I really enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite days because we treated a topic that's very dear to me.
The confidence from the start, when we started the session to the end, it was so like you see a big change.
The highlight for me was with my group, we was making dresses out of newspapers.
It was a bit awkward at first, I'll be honest, but I think we got a flow of everything, and as we kept on going with the session, we kept on like becoming more comfortable with everyone.
I think the highlight of my trip was giving out the sanitary toiletries to the girls, because I know how much it means to me to give back. That's one thing I've learned, especially from coming on the trip last year. Giving back is so fulfilling and it makes my heart feel full.
Engaging with everyone and feeling like I was doing something, like being part of a bigger picture, being part of these students' like growth and education. It was amazing. Yeah.
The autism school was eye-opening. I guess, like, you forget that it's everywhere, if that makes sense. But I really love what the Hope Setters were really doing for them. They really try and look at where each child's strengths were.
Yeah, the children at the Autism Centre, they didn't really make their disability affect their learning. They were very hardworking.
Yeah,
I had a kid that was very active, and being able to be with such a child for the entire day was quite challenging, but you can see these guys do it every day of their life, like with ease, and it made me really start to appreciate them and the work that they have done as well.
I feel like they're doing a great job, but they could do better, if they got the right resources. So God willing, we're able to also help them some more next year to be able to provide better services for the children. At the start I struggled a bit, but then getting the flow of it and just learning that they're just normal kids. You treat them like normal kids. They just want affection and love. You treat them like you treat any other kid, and you just pay attention to them and care for them.
They have done so much in 1 year, like relocating, getting the students there to another location where it's quieter, it's a more comfortable environment for learning for each and every student there.
To know also that she started from the bottom and look where she's got in 5 years is also very inspiring, because sometimes we think, oh, we might have a goal and we might think it's too hard for us, but to see that she started, as she said, in her living room, and to go from one building that was too small to go to another building that is still quite small, but they're still doing what they can and they're doing the best that they can for these kids is very, very inspiring.
Just hearing about the changes that have been there since last year up until now, it's incredible. So I can't wait to see the development of it from now until next year as well.
It was a really good experience for me to see, because it's like, even though they have these kind of conditions, they're able to do things that will help them survive in like the real world.
But the community is supporting children with autism, so helping out and stuff like that. So to know that they're in a nice and secure location now is good, but we won't stop there because we want to make sure everything is good for them.
The Alumni Network event was really good. It was nice to hear them give so many encouraging words, because I think a lot of people are scared to move outside of the UK to like countries in Africa, so like Ghana, Nigeria and elsewhere.
I didn't actually anticipate how much more they were coming to impact us.
It was really good, loved it. Definitely going to take on board everything they said.
I remember when one of the guys said that our country back home needs us. So I really want to take that into account as well. So now that I finished my degree, I feel like I really want to go back to Jamaica and then see if I can do something.
The DMU Network Alumni event made me think a lot about my future.
When I went to DMU from Ghana,
just to hear them say so many positive things about DMU, it's like DMU has been consistently good from whenever, so that was nice.
It was interesting because I've considered coming back to Ghana to work in later years. So hearing their stories and what they've been through, it was very insightful.
It also gave me some tips as well, like whatever you do, don't give up, because there's always like another path you can go through to achieve what you want to be in life.
I'm happy that I got to hear what they had to say and share their stories with us. I feel like we've all learnt something, at least one thing about ourselves.
Oh.
And then the sightseeing that we did this year as well, even though we didn't go to a lot, the ones that we went to meant something.
After this, no more gym.
Overall, I really enjoyed the trip. I feel like it's been very fulfilling as usual. It's always great to see the impact we have made and changes since we last came. And yeah, like I'm really happy that I came once again.
This ain't no struggle.
The highlight of the trip for me was Butty Falls, simply because even though we did like a 45-minute hike, at the end it was all worth it, because the view that we saw there, like I could stay there for 18 weeks and I wouldn't know 18 weeks have gone past. That's how beautiful it was.
The one thing I think I've learned and that I'm going to take back with me is that I shouldn't waste any opportunity. Like, you know when you're offered something and just like, oh, it's not good enough. I feel like I'll just take it just for the experience, because if these kids had this experience, they probably would have taken that experience and done something 10 times better with it. Whereas I'm just thinking, oh, it's not good enough for me. It's just like, that could potentially take me somewhere, but I'm just thinking about it's not good enough for me now.
Hi guys, welcome to the vlog. So where are we going today, Derek?
We are going
We're heading to
Elmina Castle.
Elmina Castle, guys. Is so
And what I've taken from this trip, that there's many different pathways to succeed, and even though you feel like you might be on the wrong pathway, there's always a way to get on the right one.
In terms of construction, rainwater was stores here, and that was what they used for domestic purposes, which included cooking, washing, drinking the
I've learned not to take things for granted and not to feel sorry for yourselves, because there's a whole nother world out there.
Let's enter, all of us are entering, let's enter control without tongue.
This is my first time in Ghana, so it's been really, I'll say quite intense, but that's because we've like genuinely been doing the work that we came here to do, which is, I love that, but it's still a shock when you actually come to doing it. Obviously waking up early in the morning and coming back in the evenings.
But coming with a different group of people and doing different activities has definitely changed my perspective on how I see things and what I want to do in life.
The trip for me was inspiring. Like, yeah, I learned a lot as well. I learned that you can't take things for granted in life, basically.
The highlight of the trip, even though I didn't really like being on the coach that much, I've enjoyed the journeys. There have been just different happenings on that coach throughout the journey, so I've enjoyed that. Even though they've been long, it's been part of the memories, so yeah. And I've enjoyed trying the food. You know, I'm trying the native Ghanaian foods now, so yeah.
I think the highlight of the trip was probably the coach journeys, the minibus journeys to and from places, when we're just doing karaoke sing-alongs and everyone's just vibing, really. I enjoyed, yeah. Yeah, the best ones when, you know, the little solos here and there, so that was fun.
Being in like Ghana itself, like you see when we was on the bus and we was just looking at women like selling stuff, like, and they were balancing like bowls on their head to sell like water and whatever. Like everyone was like, oh my gosh, look, look, look. But in my head I was thinking like, this could literally be one of us. So it was just like, it was very inspiring to see like a whole different country set up, and just to like put myself in their shoes.
The highlight of the trip for me was the PCR schools and teaching within them and getting to know the students individually. That was really great for me. It taught me a lot about myself and I really enjoyed it.
I think the trip has been really good. I think it's been really insightful.
I found the trip fun. I've enjoyed every moment.
Overall, the trip has been very insightful.
Overall, the trip has been eye-opening.
The trip overall for me was very educational. It was enlightening, humbling, and very welcoming.